Hello, students of class 10. Hope you have read the chapter in your home till how much was taught. Today we will start a new portion, that is the portion of respiration. Food is the fuel for all life process. Without food, no living organism can survive. This food is burnt within our body by the process of respiration to release energy, and that energy is used up by the living organism for performing all the metabolic activities within the cell. Basically 5 steps are there based on which the entire process of respiration takes place. First is you are inhaling oxygen, means you are breathing in oxygen. That oxygen is reacting with the food molecules like glucose within the cell. After that, the food molecules are being oxidized. As a result, slow combustion of the molecules are taking place. After combustion or burning, the release of the energy is taking place, and some energy is used up by the body, and the remaining energy is stored in the form of ATP molecules in the cell. Different types of waste products like carbon dioxide and water, that is eliminated out by breathing out. So when the food you are consuming, that is getting mixed up or reaction is taking place of that food with oxygen which you are breathing. As a result, carbon dioxide, water and energy will be formed. Carbon dioxide and water is exhaled out, and energy is remained within the body, and that is consumed by the body for performing different activities. Now, breathing and respiration. We have come across these two words right now. Breathing and respiration are not similar. They have a huge difference. Breathing is a constant or it's a continuous process where you are breathing in and out constantly, whereas during respiration, due to the presence of oxygen, the body is breaking down the food molecules. Breathing, we can say it's a physical process which involves taking in of oxygen, and the exchange of gases between the cells is taking place. Ventilation and gas exchange, these are the two processes of breathing, and breathing can be controlled by you. Sometimes you are taking a deep breath and you are stopping for some time, and you are exhaling out the breathed air. That is under your control. But in case of respiration, it cannot be controlled. That oxygen which is present within the body, that oxygen is continuously burning up the food material chemically, and it is taking out the oxygen from the cell portion. It only has one function, oxidation. Okay, so don't get confused between these two, breathing and respiration. Now, how that energy which is released during the respiration is stored within the body. During respiration, you have learned that energy is released in the form of ATP. Some energy will be used up instantly by the body, and some energy will be stored in the body. In the form of ATP, that energy will be stored in the cells, and the body will use up that energy as and when needed. You know the full form of ATP, ADP, you have learnt all this. ADP is adenosine diphosphate and ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine diphosphate molecules, it contains very low energy, and di means 2. So 2 phosphate groups are present in its molecule. Whereas in case of adenosine triphosphate, 3 phosphate groups are present. Tri means 3. So 3 phosphate groups will be present in its molecule, and it will contain a high amount of energy. Inorganic phosphate. What is inorganic phosphate? It is another term new to you. Inorganic phosphate is a substance which contains a phosphate group made up of phosphorus and oxygen. These substances are also present within the cell. We write in short PI, P, capital P and small I. P stands for phosphate and small I stands for inorganic, that is inorganic phosphate. Now the energy which is released during the process of respiration, that is used to make ATP molecules from ADP. From ADP, in the presence of inorganic phosphate, ATP is produced. That ATP can be broken down using water to release energy. And the energy which is released by ATP, that will be used up to carry all the endothermic reactions within the body. Now glucose, you know the formula of glucose, C6H12O6. It contains 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygen. Now this glucose is the simple food which is oxidized in the cells of the organism during the process of respiration, where this oxidation is taking place in the cytoplasm, and it will result in the production of pyruvic acid, and this entire process is known as glycolysis. During this process of glycolysis, one molecule of glucose will break down to produce 2 molecules of pyruvic acid or pyruvate, and during this entire phenomena, no oxygen is used up, and each pyruvic acid molecule will contain 3 carbon atoms. It is also called pyruvate. Okay. Now what will happen to the pyruvic acid? It will be decided on the presence or absence of oxygen in the cell. When oxygen is present in the cell, the pyruvic acid will be constantly oxidized to carbon dioxide and water, and a lot of energy will be produced in the form of ATP. And in absence of oxygen, the cells of the pyruvic acid will be converted to lactic acid in animals and ethanol and carbon dioxide in plants. In this case, less amount of energy will be released. Lactic acid contains 3 carbon atom hydroxycarboxylic acid. It is also known as lactate. You have known the different types of respiration. One is aerobic respiration, another is the anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen. In most plants and animals, this type of aerobic respiration takes place. This aerobic respiration is a high energy releasing process, and here complete oxidation of the glucose will be taking place. Now this breakdown of pyruvic acid, it produces carbon dioxide and water and energy. This process where it will be taking place, it will take place in the mitochondria. So we can say mitochondria is the site for aerobic respiration. Next, another type of respiration is the anaerobic respiration, or we can say in other terms as anoxy respiration. Now in anaerobic respiration, no oxygen is involved. Now this type of respiration takes place without the presence of oxygen. Here the energy yield will be very low because oxygen is not used up, or no transfer of oxygen will be taking place here. Now here what happens, it occurs basically in the deep seated tissues of the plants. Yeast, bacteria, they perform the process of anaerobic respiration. But sometimes in human beings also anaerobic respiration takes place in the muscle cells. Most of you do exercise. During long strenuous exercise, sometimes you feel that your muscles get fatigued, your muscle cramp takes place. Have you felt it? When you are having strenuous exercise, your muscle cramp takes place. During that time, what happens? Our heart and lungs cannot deliver the required oxygen to our muscles quickly, and as a result, the muscles will be carrying the anaerobic respiration. And this anaerobic respiration in human, it will break down the glucose to lactic acid and will produce less energy. As a result, this muscular cramp will be taking place. Fermentation also is an example of anaerobic respiration, whereby bacteria will produce ethanol and carbon dioxide, and they will perform anaerobic respiration. Fermentation also is another process of anaerobic respiration. Understood? And you have to find out the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Make a chart and write in points the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Now we will know about the respiration in plants, respiration in animals. Plants perform the process of respiration or not? Plants also need energy for their growth, movement and other body metabolic activities. They also require energy by the process of respiration. Here also exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases takes place. But in plants, this is just the reverse as it takes place in human beings or the mammals or the other living organism. So this oxygen and carbon dioxide, these are known as the respiratory gases. Now all parts of the plant perform respiration individually, whereas all parts of an animal perform respiration in a single unit. Okay. In plants, the transportation of the gases from one part to another is not required. But in case of animals, the respiratory gases needs to be transported from head to the foot. In the plants, the respiration rate is very slow. But in animals, because animals have to move from one place to another, their body metabolic functions is more in comparison to the plants, their respiration rate is more faster. Now you have learned the type of respiration is taking place in plants in different portions. Respiration takes place in the root and the stems, leaves, all separately. The roots, what they are doing, they are taking up the oxygen which is present between the soil particles by the process of diffusion. Epidermal cells are present in the root, which is known as the root hair. That is getting contact with the oxygen which is present in the soil. That oxygen will diffuse into the root hairs and will pass onto the outer cells of the root for respiration. Carbon dioxide will be produced into the cells of the root during respiration, and that will move out into the cells, okay, out of the cells to the soil by the process of diffusion. These portions, the older portion of the root, they do not have root hairs. Instead, they have covering with a protective layer of dead cells. They are very tiny openings called lenticels through which the gaseous exchange will be taking place. As a result, land plants will die if their roots remain waterlogged for long. Suppose during flood, the roots of the land plants get submerged in water. What will happen? They cannot breathe. The roots of the plants can't breathe. So the root plants will die. This flood water or the stagnant water may kill the plant. In the woody plants, what happens? The bark of the plants, they have lenticels for the exchange of the gases. In the leaves, respiration takes place through very tiny apertures known as stomata, which is found in the inner surface of the leaves, and oxygen will diffuse into the leaves and will reach all the cells where it is used in respiration. At night, where there is no photosynthesis, what will happen? No oxygen is produced. So oxygen from the air will diffuse into the leaves and they will perform the process of respiration. During that time, what will happen? The carbon dioxide produced will diffuse out into the air. So at night, oxygen will diffuse in and carbon dioxide will diffuse out, just the reverse. And during the day, what will happen? Carbon dioxide is used up for the process of photosynthesis. So there is no carbon dioxide released. Instead, after the process of photosynthesis, the oxygen will be released out from the leaves. So during daytime, oxygen will diffuse in and carbon dioxide will diffuse in and oxygen will diffuse out of the plant cell. Till this much today. Read properly in your home. Read each and every line. Try to understand properly. Next day we will start the respiration in animals. Thank you.